On this episode of China Uncensored, North Korea is threatening nuclear war, and Chinese hackers want to make sure we're not prepared to deal with it. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Things on the Korean Peninsula are heating up. The US is sending in warships, China is urging restraint, and North Korea promises destruction.
Now that we possess mighty nuclear power to protect ourselves from the U.S. nuclear threat, we will respond without the slightest hesitation to full-out war with full-out war, and to nuclear war with our style of nuclear strike. And we will emerge victor in the final battle with the United States.
Well, to ensure North Korea does not emerge as the victor, the U.S. installed THAAD in South Korea. It stands for Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. It's kind of important in the event North Korea ever tries to make good on its promise to turn South Korea's capital into a sea of flames. But now THAAD is under threat, not from North Korean missiles or shifting political winds or even public protests, but from Chinese hackers. According to the cybersecurity firm FireEye, Chinese state-backed hackers have recently targeted South Korean entities involved in deploying a U.S. missile defense system. Remember, it's not just North Korea that doesn't like THAAD, the Chinese regime doesn't like it either. Even though THAAD is designed to stop North Korean missiles, it could, in theory, allow South Korea and the U.S. to track Chinese missiles. So there are two main hacker groups from China involved here. One FireEye is calling the Tonto Group. There must be some Lone Ranger fans over there. The other is nicknamed APT-10. It's also sometimes called Stone Panda. That one has been accused of hacking a U.S. trade lobbying group and also of rolling down hills and gathering no moss. There are some independent Chinese hackers targeting South Korea too. But both Tonto and Stone Panda have been linked to Chinese military intelligence units. This is not to say that the Chinese Communist Party is behind the hacks in any way. I mean, sure, the Chinese military belongs to the party, but China never messes with other countries.
China always sticks to the principle of not interfering in the internal affairs of other countries.
It's just a coincidence that since the South Korean government announced the deployment of THAAD earlier this year, hacking attacks from China have been on the rise. And that some of these hacks have been targeting entities related directly and indirectly to THAAD. Last month, South Korea's Ministry of Foreign Affairs website was crippled. This Korean news agency said Chinese hackers have targeted the homepages of 10 South Korean firms and some South Korean embassies in other countries. The Ministry of Science, ICT, and Future Planning raised the country's cyber attack alert level to the second highest rating. I guess the Future Planning Division didn't see it coming. And what has North Korea been doing while the Chinese Communist Party has totally not been interfering in the internal affairs of South Korea? Well, they just held a massive rally marking the 85th anniversary of the North Korean Army. Even though Kim Jong-un wasn't there, don't they still sound excited? How do they all know when to say that? I wonder what it'd feel like to have hundreds of people cheering your every word. Pretty good, actually. I may keep that around. Anyway, where was the dear leader? Why, he was inspecting a pig farm. They have lots of food in North Korea, did you know? Except I can't seem to find Kim in this picture. Just a bunch of giant hams. That is never going to get old. But not to worry, Chinese hackers may be trying to mess with THAAD, but THAAD is merely a precautionary measure. I mean, it's not like North Korea is holding any live-fire artillery drills while U.S. warships gather, right? I'm sure everything will be fine. So what do you think of the Chinese regime's cyber attacks in retaliation for South Korea's missile defense program? Was it a THAAD idea? Yes, definitely keeping that. Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Chappell. See you next time.